So we got a patio heater, won't light, and we will go through the cleaning process and go over how to get this thing working again. Let's get started. So in order to get the lid off, there's 4 screws on this unit. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll take that off, get the top exposed, and then as we work our way down, there's 4 screws on this part of the neck and 4 screws down here. That will get us into the guts of the regulator, your tilt switch back here, and the bottom of the propane line that feeds the top where the pilot is. That's most likely the culprit, this tube right here where the pilot starts the burner process. So we'll get that all taken apart and see what's wrong with it. So here's the burner assembly off the stand on its side. You take off 4 screws around the base here and lay it on its side, then take these 4 off. 1, 2, there's 2 on this side, to pull the shield off. And once you get the shield off, we'll disconnect the propane line right here so we can access the tilt switch and the propane line on the workbench a lot easier. Careful when you take these units apart. This rough edge on the sheet metal is pretty sharp, so be careful with that. So here's the assembly off the stand of the patio heater. So under here, this tube right here is what the pilot lets the gas in to start the burn. With this being upside down, you get some moisture builds up or spider webs inside that tube. So we're going to go ahead and blow that out, see if we can't get any particulates out of that. So loosen this screw right here, pull this out, it's flexible. That looks pretty clean now. Put it back together and see if we can get anything out of it. Here's the tilt switch out of the patio heater. Hear the ball inside rolling around that breaks the circuit, you know, if the patio heater tilts over. Let's check and make sure this is good. So it should complete the circuit when the ball's sitting in the bottom of the dish. So this is good. So I've got the igniter portion of the stem put back together. I left the cover off, because let's test to make sure that we actually have a flame here before we put it all back together. So our line here was pretty clogged up. That was what I'm thinking was the problem. The tilt switch seemed to function properly. So, alright, so this is assembled enough to where we can test to see if our pilot's going to light. Let's see what we got. So that was the problem. That down tube that goes down to the shut-off regulator switch on the front was clogged. So that just needed a good cleaning. You can see how it's sitting directly up, straight up. Moisture, you know, spider webs, whatever, can get inside there and just clog up the whole works. Down below, there's that tiny copper line that we unscrewed the Phillips screw and pulled that off. There's a very small orifice in that too, so it doesn't take much to block this up. But this is usually the culprit, is this tube right here.